Everyone's hyping the DJI Osmo Pocket 4 Pro right now, and honestly, the specs alone are enough to make any creator do a double take. A 1-inch sensor, dual cameras, 17 stops of dynamic range, all packed into something that fits in your jacket pocket. But here's what nobody's leading with. This camera has some real, legitimate trade-offs that could completely change how you feel about it, depending on how you shoot. Today we're cutting through the excitement and getting honest about what the Pocket 4 Pro actually gets wrong, what it gets complicated, and whether those issues should actually stop you from buying it. Stay with me because one of these drawbacks is something even experienced creators didn't see coming. Before we even get to the camera itself, there's an elephant in the room. The Pocket 4 Pro is currently a China exclusive release, and if you're in the US, importing it is your only real option right now. That alone creates a layer of frustration, especially when you factor in the regulatory climate making DJI's US situation increasingly complicated. And while you wait, a competitor called the Extreme 2 Pro is quietly positioning itself as a direct answer to this gap. Dual lenses, flip screen, built-in tripod thread, targeting a sub-$700 launch in Q3 2026. The competitive pressure is real, and DJI's silence on a global rollout isn't helping anyone make a confident buying decision. Here's something that'll catch a lot of short-form creators off guard. The Pocket 4 Pro doesn't physically rotate its sensor for vertical video. Instead, it crops into the image, dropping your resolution down to 3K at 60 FPS for vertical content. If your channel lives in portrait mode, that's a meaningful quality ceiling. It's not a deal breaker for everyone, but it's absolutely something you need to know before assuming this thing is built for the current era of short-form content. The dual camera setup is the headline feature, but it comes with a catch that's easy to miss on paper. The main camera runs DJI's new D-Log2 with low light technology and that impressive 17-stop dynamic range, while the telephoto camera operates on an older imaging pipeline with standard D-Log. What that means in practice is that when you cut between lenses in your edit, you're essentially color grading two different cameras. Different noise behavior, different tonal rendering, different grading flexibility. On top of that, D-Log2 itself is so new that professional color management tools and LUT workflows haven't fully caught up yet, meaning your post-production pipeline might need some reconfiguring before it clicks. Despite the telephoto lens looking impressive on the spec sheet, real-world testing has thrown up a surprising result. The Insta360 Luna Ultra's 3x telephoto often edges out the Pocket 4 Pro in detail retention during standard shooting modes. DJI mostly closes that gap when you're working in log, but if you're not grading your footage, that's a real consideration. There's also a minimum focusing distance issue that's going to sting product creators, food videographers, and tabletop shooters specifically. Get too close to your subject and the lens starts hunting for focus, forcing you to physically back away. For a camera marketed partly at content creators, that's an awkward limitation. The Pocket 4 Pro is genuinely impressive. Class-leading stabilization, powerful tracking, and image quality that nothing else at this size can match. But every strength here has a string attached, and whether those strings tie you up completely depends on how you create. So tell me in the comments, are you still sold on it, or are the trade-offs enough to make you wait? If you found this useful, a like and subscribe goes a long way.